We are back and we're going to talk about the crypto market pumping or dumping based off of all of the geopolitical and economic stuff happening in the United States of America. Because if you remember correctly, Powell did not lower interest rates. He left them unchanged. We've got the jobs report that came out. We've got actually a lot of really bullish crypto news. We've got some stories about HBAR today and a couple other cryptos. So we'll talk about it. And I know most of you are saying, why aren't the markets pumping? Shouldn't the markets be pumping? Shouldn't we be in a bull run? What is happening? Well, read the room. We're in a recession. We've been in a recession. We've got the stuff that's going on with tariffs. Nobody has money to invest. Everything you see on like crypto Twitter on X, it's pretty much a big echo chamber. It's crazy. It's crazy business. And there's a lot of economic uncertainty in the especially in the United States of America. Yes, we have all of this bullish crypto news. Yes, we have the White House actually focusing on crypto, the SEC, the CFTC, all of these different entities. But crypto is a small market cap. We're under $4 trillion. I think Microsoft just hit $4 trillion by itself. And I also know, talking to one of my financial advisors, that there's a lot of people that are severely underwater in a lot of their altcoin positions, like severely. And this is retail stuff. So, of course, people have run out of capital to buy more crypto. So what's going to happen? How are we going to get a bull market again? How is number going to go up? Lots of different ways. We could be patient. We can wait to see what happens with the spot ETFs. We can wait to see what happens with the economy and whatnot. There's a lot of things. So we're just going to have to be patient and kind of ride this out. I know it's hard, but investing is not easy. And if you thought that you got to come into crypto and make all this money like this, you're wrong. That's not how it works. People that do well financially, especially in investing, they are patient. They are patient. They are waiting for opportunities. They understand what disposable income is and they deploy it correctly. So let's go ahead and get into it. But before we do, let's give a shout out to our channel members, to Mr. Dale, Mr. John, Mr. R, Philip, Gorgeous Alexandra, Sparkwater, and Alpha Junkies. So let's go ahead and get into it and see what's on the roster for today. I got a little bit of a headache. I think I'm getting a little bit of a flare up today, but that's okay. So let's talk about the job market. The U.S. economy adds 73,000 jobs in July, below expectations of 106,000. Unemployment rate rises to 4.2%, in line with the expectations of 4.2%. June jobs report was revised to show 14,000 jobs added. Labor market appears to be weakening. Yeah, we know. With the rise of AI, thank you so much to Tyson for the $2 super chat. I greatly appreciate it. But with the rise of AI, with the rise of inflation, what do you think is going to happen? You think there's no jobs? There's no jobs. Where are these jobs? Show me where the new jobs are. Show me where the new jobs are with AI. They're not here. Everything's getting automated. Is this Trump's fault? It's a culmination of all sides from years and years and years and years. The job reports is a bunch of BS, so it only utilizes certain X values or N values. That's what we used to use in calculus and all kinds of stuff, statistics. Only uses certain N values, and they are X values, whatever you want to call it. And they pick and choose when people start to fall off, and it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but jobs is not looking good. Jobs wasn't good under Biden either, so that's not helping the crypto markets. 75% of the July jobs came from healthcare. The employment rate ticked back up to 4.2%. She said that the U.S. economy added only 73,000 jobs in July. That's below expectations, blah, blah, blah. It's all BS. It really, really is. And what healthcare jobs? Because I used to work in healthcare. And when we're talking about working in healthcare, you don't get raises in healthcare. The only way you get raises is if you go back to school and you get another degree to do X, Y, and Z, which takes time and it takes money and whatever that is. I don't care if pump is listed on Uphold. It was an absolute dumpster fire. So you have fun with that. And a lot of the entry-level healthcare jobs, you've got to go to trade school for, which is a scam. You don't need to go to trade school for most of this stuff. You don't need to go to trade school for pharmacy tech or medical billing or CNA and a lot of this stuff. But they have you do that, right? But they start you off. I think that in California, the starting wage for, there's no jobs though, Philip. That's the thing. Starting wage for healthcare workers is below fast food minimum wage. Healthcare workers are miserable. 100%. I was one. That's why I left my job. Healthcare, we are miserable because we are underpaid. We are overworked. And people are animals. Absolutely animals. But I understand why people are animals. But again, it's really the way you can blame insurance companies and you can blame the public servants because they've allowed this to happen. But yeah, healthcare workers are 100% miserable and I don't blame them. Shout out to Lawrence for the $5 super chat. And I do need to drink electrolytes. I think I am dehydrated. So this is not causing the market to pump. It's causing the market to dump. Okay. Also, Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index falls 1% following payrolls report. Everything is going down. But we do have some bullish news. Actually, we'll talk about the crypto markets first, and I'm going to give you guys some bullish news. It's a little bit of hopium. I'm bullish for it. And this is why I'm holding more long term and I'm doing less trading. I'm just being patient. Now, with Bitcoin broke below key support. Oh no, what are we going to do? But look we've got more support at $11,000. See, or $111,000. See, the reason why that's so important is if we take a look at the monthly chart, we got a swing wick high there. It wasn't a monthly close, but we have a swing wick high. So that acts as an important area of support. Now, taking a look at the at May, we had daily close over here, which is bullish. So 111 is my area of support. So we'll see what happens there, but we're going to continue to drop downwards. Ethereum is getting close to our $3,500 area over here, breaking support, getting ready to break support. Solana, too, free falling. SUI, free falling. XRP broke down below $3, hit $2.89. And what else? Where else do we have? We've got maybe $2.83. Link, down. ADA, down. Hedera, down. And everybody's losing their minds. Everyone's losing their minds. Thank you, Jason, for the super chat. I appreciate it. $2. Woo! Shout out to Toshi. But everything is down right now. So what's even the point? Why even bother with crypto? Well, because this is how the markets work. I don't like this piece of hair. There's a piece of hair that always gets in my way. But this is the thing with crypto. You got to be patient. You really, really have to be patient if you want stuff to work. And plus too, with the not raising with keeping the interest rates. Why do you guys ask me for ghetto coins that have like low volume? That is like 10 people holding them. What do I think of it? I think there's 10 people holding. I don't even know what the hell it is, but I think there's 10 people holding and it's probably going to go to zero and you're probably going to lose money because you didn't practice risk management and you didn't take profit. Shout out to Julie. So numbers going down. What do? We just chill. That's all we do, really. There's nothing else you can do. Really nothing else you can do. And you stack and you do what works for you. Now, this right here is incredibly bullish, but nobody cares about it. American leadership in the digital financial revolution. We touched on it yesterday, but I want to touch on it a little bit more. Project Crypto. During a speech yesterday, Paul Atkins announced the launch of Project Crypto. It aims to modernize security rules for crypto, aims to bring U.S. financial markets on chain. Paul Atkins calls for clear, modern rules to replace outdated regulations, focuses on avoiding one-size-fits-all regulation and preventing innovation from going offshore. And the other administration wanted to push it offshore. They wanted to ban it. Proposes easing licensing for brokers to handle multiple asset classes under one license. Supports regulatory exemptions of grace periods for early crypto project and DAOs, which is needed. Basically, these companies that were made too early before there's laws and regulations, like, hey, you got to get your stuff together and then focus on building within this sandbox. That's what it is, and it's good. Highlights importance of tokenization and reaffirms right to self-custody as legal protection. And you know what? This is absolutely iconic from SEC Chair Paul Atkins. Let's listen to this, please.
The right to have self-custody of one's private property is a core American value. I believe deeply in the right to use a self-custodial digital wallet to maintain personal crypto assets and participate in on-chain activities like staking.
The current SEC chair just said, I support the right to own your own crypto assets, to stake them, to do whatever you want to do with them. Not only is he, and again, I'm not saying I trust him 100%, but not only is he creating guidelines for the crypto economy in the United States of America, but he is also telling you, you have your right to hold and custody your crypto. I think it's absolutely amazing. It's a beautiful thing. It really, 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 really is. Really, really is. This is amazing. And I mean, I know the market's down. I know things aren't doing super well right now, but this is setting a nice, solid foundation of support for positivity in the future. It's positive fundamentals. This is wonderful. Bitcoin's down, crypto's down. I don't mind because we have news like this. I'm focusing on the positive right now. I really, really am. I think it's a wonderful thing. And now while we are discussing self-custody, our partners today are from Decent. And they went ahead and they sent me a really, really cute wallet over here. Unmatched security, perfected with fingerprint technology. Secure your assets with Decent, the world's first biometrically secured cryptocurrency wallet. They support all those cryptos at the bottom. Really quickly, I wanted to show you what it looks like. Very, very similar to Ledger. It's got the little area for your personal recovery seed. You've got your instructions over here. And it's a super easy to use device. This is what it looks like. It's adorable. And you guys can see it. You guys can go ahead and see it right over here. Super easy to see, super easy to use. And we honestly love it. Honestly love it. Also too, I wanted to go and pull this little thingy up over here so you guys can see. Let's see if we can see a little bit of something, but this is what it looks like. So if you guys want to go ahead and download this, also too, we've got ref links down below, but it manages over 46,000 coins, NFTs, earnings in one powerful Web3 app. Now, the Ledger Nano S is discontinued, as you know, so it might be time for an upgrade. Meet Descent, the most intuitive and secure cold storage wallet built for mobile. No more complicated setups. Descent uses biometric authentication and Bluetooth, so there is no need for USBs or browser extensions. With Descent app, you can manage your assets, view your portfolio, swap tokens, and get real-time insights all from your phone. It's full custody with an offline private key, and even a 25th seed word for extra security. And if you're interested in trying Descent now, there's going to be links down in the description. Here is the download. Here's how you can download the app. It is on Android and Apple over here, which we absolutely love. So if you're interested, great. Shout out to Roland for the $1.99 super chat. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And shout out to Descent for partnering with us. Okay. It's always nice when you get partners and you get people that support you. Okay. Now let's get into the next story because there's a couple other things we're going to talk about. And this is their Facebook page, or their X page as well. So if you guys want to follow them and learn more, great. And they've got a cute little guy over there too. So this is Mr. Scott Bessent. And he says, the U.S., and I'm not going to play the video because there's noise there and I don't want to get demonetized, but he says the U.S. has entered the golden age of crypto. Under President, we are exploring new possibilities in decentralized computing and digital payments to unlock the potential of blockchain technology. So start your companies here, launch your protocols here, and hire your workers here. That's really cool, Scott. But you know, like with the whole Roman storm thing that's going on and Samurai Wallet guys, you're telling people to come build in America, but people that actually do build in America, they're still getting in trouble for products that or services or products they created that people decided to do bad things with. So that kind of makes it a little bit complicated, you know, a little bit complicated here. But I digress. Moral of the story with here is that current term may end in 2027 instead of May 2029. But, you know, we'll see what's going on with that. But I do appreciate that them talking about it's the golden age of crypto here. It's not the golden age yet because we're not in altcoin season, but I do think it's coming. Now, Strategy announces second quarter 2025 financial results. And we've got some HBAR news, so stick around, okay? They earned $10 billion in quarter two on back of Bitcoin price gain. They also reported earnings of $32.60 per share, driven by 30% rise in Bitcoin price, of course. So when Bitcoin dumps, what's going to happen to their share price in the future? Operating income hit 14 billion with 25% Bitcoin yield in the first half of 2025 and currently holds 630,000 Bitcoin. Michael Saylor says strategy could buy as much as 1.5 million Bitcoin, which is absolutely scary. This is the clip of it here. Good for him, but that's a little bit scary for one person to own. I digress. He also said that the Bitcoin tiered preferred stock as high option yields option for retirees. This is the most dangerous thing I've ever. Skilled labor shortage is a major factor. You want to know the thing about skilled labor shortage is they forcing people to go to trade schools, which cost money, and then they're not even skilled to work on the job and don't do a good job on the job site. And why do I know this? That's exactly what Lowe's dad does. He's a business owner. So the whole system, these trade schools are grading, man. You do not need a trade school for most things. You really don't. On-site job learning, okay? That's what they used to do back in they used to do that until like 2010, okay? Then that stopped. They have a trade school for this, a trade school for that, trade school for that. And the thing about that is each different employer you work for, they're going to want things done differently. So what you learned in trade school, it might not even apply. But I digress. I'm just an idiot on the internet. I'm looking rough today, man. Anyways, but Michael Saylor says that his high yield option is great for retirees. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard this man say. I'm sorry. When you're retired, you need to protect your capital because you're living on a fixed income. But what do I know? Justin Drake reveals 10-year lean Ethereum roadmap to achieve 10,000 TPS on mainnet. Cool. Spot Ethereum ETFs post 20th consecutive day of net inflows, marking longest streak since debut. They had nearly 5.4 billion worth of net inflows during the 20-day run. Solana CME futures volume and open interest more than triple in July as ETF momentum builds. Not a great story for today, but this is good long-term in the future. Again, this is for the future ETFs, not the spot. There's no spot approved yet. Also, and while we're in ETF land, Grayscale, VanEck, Bitwise, Canary, Franklin Templeton, Fidelity, and CoinShares filed S1 amendments for their Solana ETFs. Why does it mean and why are we reporting on it? We're reporting on it because this means that the SEC gave feedback, so all of these companies modified their applications and add amendments, and these are probably going to get approved. That's all they're doing is they're working on it, and it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. It takes time, but once these things start getting approved, fingers crossed, we get our altcoin season. Grayscale launches trust for stored protocol to tap into 80 trillion intellectual property. It's IP, and the token powering programmable data rights on blockchain, which is a little bit crazy. There's going to be a lot of these coming up soon, and it makes me a little bit nervous, but what can we say? You know what? Stuff is not loading properly on my end. I don't know why. This is another really big story from Polygon. Matic. Philippines government budget is now notarized on chain on Polygon. Department of Budget Management has officially launched a blockchain-based system to store documents, providing a mutable record on Polygon for anyone to view or verify. Implemented by Lumen, BYC, Prismo Protocol, and the program increases transparency and tracking of public funds. This is crazy. And again, I hold, I don't want to be influencer of the year at Rare Evo. I don't want to be. Don't want to be. Trump tariffs are not why alt season tell YouTubers can't be honest. No, you're just slow. So I'm going to check the title. What is the title again? What is the title that I put for today? I'm not in the mood for it. I'm not in the mood for the low IQ stuff. I'm really not. Okay. U.S. economic meltdown pumping crypto to new highs with a question mark. What does that mean? Well, that means could it pump crypto to an all-time high? It could. Did it? No, it didn't. We are in a recession. The jobs report is not accurate. Inflation is through the roof. The uncertainty with tariffs are going absolutely insane. So yeah, the market's not going to pump off of that. And yeah, the tariffs are definitely playing a role into why we're not having altcoin season, because there's no liquidity. When you do not have liquidity, meaning money to put into something, it dries up. It stops moving. That's called stagnation. I don't even know, but you got a cute dog, so you got that going for you. Go to Investopedia.com or to Binance. It's free. They have free resources that will explain to you how liquidity works. I appreciate your opinion, but it's just not a very good one. Now, back to this. So this is happening in the Philippines. Could you imagine if the United States of America did the same thing? And again, I've got a moon bag of Polygon Matic. Can you imagine if the United States of America did the same thing as the Philippines and made everything transparent? They would never do that. This is crazy, though. This is a crazy story. But again, crypto's dead. Crypto's not going anywhere. Nobody's using it. But then a story like this comes out. Also, if you're somebody who wants to get started, look at all of this from Lunar Crush, real world assets. These are social metrics. And I actually got in a little bit of an argument with somebody on it. They're like, well, who cares if it's social metrics? Why does it matter if it's social metrics? Guess what? Social metrics matter because that means people are talking about something, okay? They're talking about it. This is a good list of solid RWA projects to help you start your research in the sector. Ondo, Link, HBAR, Avalanche. What's your top pick? Now, why do we want to focus on RWAs? Why? Well, we want to focus on RWAs because they're tokenizing everything. And the word RWA, it means real world assets and is a fancy term for NFT and the tokenization. And what they're doing, they're putting everything on chain. So why wouldn't you want to self-educate yourself on some of the most talked about RWAs on social media? Some of these are also made in the USA that are going to get spot ETFs approved. Why wouldn't you want to educate yourself on that? Because different traditional financial entities are using different chains. I don't know. It sounds like doing fundamental analysis. We haven't had QE because of the tariffs. Come on, Wendy. Thank you, Powell, for chiming in. Thank you so much. Come correct or don't come at all. Now, the Hashgraph Group unveils ID Trust to challenge WorldCoin and Microsoft. THG co-founder and CEO Stefan told Cointelegraph that ID Trust allows users full control over their data, giving it an edge over competitors like Microsoft Entra. WorldCoin is evil, and Microsoft, I don't know how I feel about them. Okay? But Hashgraph, they want to essentially challenge that, okay? It's powered by AI. And they're going to offer decentralized identity with full user data control, targets governments and enterprises, and it's built on Hedera. Also, Hedera is one of those coins, the top 3 in this little chart over here. But this is the thing. I don't like world IDs. I don't like all of those things. But at the same time, I don't like WorldCoin. Not a big Microsoft person, but I do appreciate that Hedera and Hashgraph is working towards decentralizing a little bit because WorldCoin is not decentralized. So thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much. Also, another really great indicator that we're seeing that things are switching from meme coins to old Dino utility coins. Total crypto exchange volume hits 1.7 trillion in July, highest since February. This is good. Binance maintained the largest market share with 683 billion in volume. So massive shout out to Binance. Again, Binance is the top exchange in the world. And tariffs are us paying taxes, so it's relevant. We have been paying tariffs. The tariffs that Trump is implementing are for other people that bring money in. I don't know. I'm just an idiot on the internet. Woo! But anyways, we think that that's good as far as Binance goes. And I'm excited to see Binance make a comeback. Coinbase says it's launching tokenized stocks, prediction markets for U.S. users in coming months. I told you guys it would be the first bank. They're working with JP Morgan as well. And their coin earnings are down. And with that note, I'm going to go because it's Friday. It is Friday. I've had a terrible last 2 weeks have been absolutely terrible. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but I'm going to go and I'm going to relax and I'm going to treat myself. Mixing is going to have tuna and baked potatoes. But sending you guys love and light. I got a video coming out for you at 2 p.m. PT and a news wrap up of the day. 6 p.m. PT. Bye-bye.